Middlesex slipped to a 6th defeat in 7 games in this summer's Friends Life T20 competition after they allowed Kent to recover from 21 for 6 to win by 9 runs in a remarkable match in Canterbury. Under new floodlights at this historic ground, Rob Key flew in by helicopter and won the toss, only to see his side collapse after losing Joe Denley to the 5th ball of the match, edging Anthony Ireland and Neil Dexter before a run had been scored. Ireland struck again in his next over, his ball too quick for Azza Mahmood, who could only chip it to Dexter at mid-wicket. The Panthers have made some great starts with the ball in the T20 this season, but have let sides off the hook, but not this time it seemed, as Darren Stevens was legged before to Stephen Crook, and Sam Northeast was run out by Paul Sterling's direct hit from the covers to leave Kent in disarray on 10 for 4. That became 18 for 5 when Key nicked Ryan McLaren behind just before the end of the power play overs. And when Sam Billings nicked Ireland behind at the end of the 7th over to finish with extraordinary figures of 3 for 7 from his 4 overs, it was 21 for 6 and the game looked over for the home side. McLaren thought he'd added a 7th wicket, but this crucial decision did not go his or his team's way. Kent were then forced to reassess the situation on a pitch which had been hurriedly prepared after the one which was supposed to be used was ruined by storms in the southeast corner of the country. Gerraint Jones and his brother-in-law James Tredwell batted well to start a much-needed recovery. Middlesex's slower bowlers didn't have the same effect as their seamers with the new ball, and Jones was able to hit the first 6 of the match. One soon matched by Tredwell off the bowling of Dexter. Jones fell for 27 to end a stand of 35, and the score built steadily thereafter as Wahab Riaz planted Smith over the mid-wicket boundary. He fell at the start of the 16th over to leave his side on 79 for 8. Crook got that wicket before he also removed Anand Ball at 99 for 9. Tredwell, though, helped his side get to 3 figures with what turned out to be a match-winning score of 34 not out, this being his second 6. And thanks to some clean hitting from the number 11 Charles Langeveld, Kent was somehow able to reach 115 for 9 from their allotted 20 overs. With Chris Rogers missing through injury, Dexter took the responsibility of opening up, and he and Sterling started carefully with 11 runs on the board in the first 3 overs. Sterling then completely mistimed a shot off Mahmood to give Ball a simple catch at mid-on. But it still looked like there would only be one winner here when Dexter and Scott Newman pushed the total along to 25 towards the end of the power play overs, which made no real difference in such a low-scoring contest. Newman moved on to 8 with this shot, but he then got a leading edge to send a delivery from Mahmood to Ball. 4 balls later, Dexter holed out to deep mid-wicket off Ball after making 17 to leave his side on 30 for 3. Batting certainly wasn't an easy occupation on this wicket, and the returning Dawid Malan was finding things as difficult as the rest. 8.5 overs remained when the Panthers lost their 4th wicket with 66 runs still needed. Jamie Dalrymple's use of the reverse sweep didn't come off. And with that wicket, Kent sensed that they could actually be in with a shout, even more so when John Simpson edged Tredwell to Mahmood. Malan then got a thick edge to 3rd man to depart for 22. And when McLaren was well held by Langeveld off his own bowling, Middlesex had slumped to 68 for 7 and now needed 48 for the remaining 22 deliveries with only 3 wickets in hand. So it was left to Smith and Crook to try to get their side over the line on a pitch where scoring freely had never been easy. The best shot of the innings was left to Crook, who drove Riaz over extra cover for the only 6 of the reply, but too much was left to do. 20 were needed off the final over. The batsman had no option but to go at everything, even running to the keeper, but it still wasn't enough as only 10 runs came off the last 6 balls to send Middlesex to another defeat, this time by 9 runs. They could only manage 106 for 7 from their 20 overs. The defeat was their 6th in 7 games in the T20 competition, and they'll be thankful to be able to get back to the serious business of the LV County Championship with a 4-day game at Lord's and an immediate opportunity to exact revenge on Kent.